Hi guys, welcome to CCLive. My name is Kiki and today I'll be creating Belle from Beauty and the Beast. I'll be creating the hair and the dress completely from scratch in Blender, so I opted to make the Disney animated version from 1991 because it's awesome, and also it looked a little bit less complicated than the live action adaptation from 2017. So first off, I started with the hair. I thought I'd give vertex modeling a go. I watched a couple of tutorials. I watched this guy model this entire human from vertex modeling, and I thought, whoa, that's cool, I want to do that too. So as a background image, you can see I made a model turnaround. I know that my drawing is not a masterpiece, but I made it just as a practical reference, and I'm using it as a guide for modeling the hair. You see I have a front, side and back view, and I've kept the hairline from the original hair because I wouldn't know how to get the hairline on the UV map to fall exactly on that spot otherwise. As you can see in my turnaround sheet, I made the hairline way too high, so I'm going to have to pull the hair down later, but for now I'm just leaving it so I can continue to use my picture as a reference. I've watched a lot of tutorials on modeling and they keep emphasizing the importance of good topology, so I do apologize to any of the seasoned 3D modelers if you're watching, because you're probably cringing at mine. Especially my edge flow is all over the place. I did notice that later on as I was trying to add edge loops and stuff, but the hair doesn't have a lot of movement to it, so it's fine. I'm getting away with it. It looks great in game, so it's fine. But hey, I learn a bit more with every project. I mean, I didn't know anything before I started this channel, so with each project I become a little bit better. I've just opened another 3D view screen on the side because I do realize that with me speeding these videos up that the video tends to swell and jump around quite a lot and very quickly as well. So that viewport at the side is so you can watch it without it jumping all over the place, but I'm not actually watching it as I'm modeling. I could, but I'm just so used to just focusing on one screen that sometimes I forget that whatever I'm doing isn't in shot. So excuse me for that. So for the top part of the hair, I'm using a mirror modifier because it's symmetrical, but for the hair that's loose and draped over her shoulder, I won't be able to use the mirror modifier. I've really enjoyed the process of modeling hair from scratch. It takes a lot longer, but you're not bound by what's available in game. So, you can really create whatever you have in your mind and make it as complicated as you want. I did create a UV1 map and Vertex painted the mesh, so it is slider compatible, I think, if I followed the tutorial correctly. I didn't film it though because it was the first time that I attempted this, and it took a lot of trial and error, like a lot of trial and error. I spent so much of my time just loading in-game and loading back out of game, and it takes forever. I've added the accessories like the band around the bun and the earrings in the hair mesh itself and in the texture so that they're not a separate item, they're included in the hair. And I also played around with the normal map and the specular map. I know, moving up in life. So the accessories have a different shine to them than the hair, they're a bit more metallic. Here I'm just drawing some hairs on my hair texture that I've already shadowed. I also tried using this texture for the normal and the specular map, but it was too messy for those. It works well as a color texture, but as a bump map it was too messy for that. So here I am just creating a cleaner texture just from a texture picture from Google, and now that I can turn that one into a specular map and into a bump map, which I didn't film because this was the first time that I tried it and it took a couple of tries just to get it right. I did film the process for the dress so you can see it there. And here we are in the Sims 4 Studio. I'm just uploading all the level of detail files and changing the swatch colors. On the dress, I'm using the mirror modifier on the X and Y axes, so I only have to model a quarter of the skirt. For the top, I'm using an existing match from a top. Here I'm just modeling the edges to give it that draped, poofy look. I also took her waist in a little bit to give it that corset look, because you can be sure that she'd be wearing a corset in 1740. I actually worked as an extra in one of the Disney Live adaptations, not Beauty and the Beast, it wasn't that one, and it was only for 4 days, but they did make me wear a corset for the whole 4 days that I was there. And not just for show, they really like pulled it proper tight. I sneakily loosened mine up in the bathroom because otherwise how am I gonna eat lunch? I honestly don't know how women used to bear that stuff. To wear that the whole day as well, it's really uncomfortable. But anyway, I usually just wear my comfy wear anyway, so I'm not that used to discomfort. But anyway, it feels super weird when you take it back off. You can just really feel all your organs sliding back into place. It's really creepy. Anyway, back to business. I did vertex paint the dress, but I didn't unwrap the UV1 map, so I don't think that the dress is slider compatible. Actually, I'm pretty sure that it's not. Which is fine because it's Belle's dress. Belle will be wearing it, and Belle is not slider compatible. She is only corset compatible. Next, I modelled the sleeves that are draped over the shoulder. I did that by adding a plane and extruding that. I then applied a mirror modifier, a subsurf modifier, and a solidify modifier to give it some body. I then moved on to the ribbon around the dress, which I made in the same way, but this time with the mirror modifier on X and Y again, so I'd only have to model 1/4 of the ribbon on the dress, and then I added the pearls. Because I couldn't get the mesh to weight paint properly, like the dress moved and then it would clip in on itself, so it didn't really work that very well. I decided to retopologize the skirt to create a lower poly mesh, but I'll be using the texture from the high poly mesh to create the final texture. After unwrapping my UV low poly mesh, I block out the colours for the different parts, and then I decided to try something new. So I painted the dirty vertex from the high poly and baked it onto the low poly mesh. And this is a nifty little trick that's going to save me so much time in working on the texture. There were some artifacts which took forever to fix in Photoshop, but once that was done, it was literally a simple case of using the dirty vertex cavity map as an overlay over the blocked out colors, and that was the majority of the texture painting done. That was so quick! It's brilliant! I can't believe that I never knew about this before. And then I added the texture of some gloves and deleted any colors where there should be skin, and then I just adjusted the colors a bit and boom, you're done. It's amazing. I then created a 1024 by 1024 pixel normal map, which I did through this nifty little website, which made my computer lag so much, but I'll leave a link for it in the description because it honestly is so awesome. And then I used that normal map to create a bump map in the channels tab, and then I saved it as a DDS file. And what a bump map does is it gives the illusion of extra detail without using more polygons. I then created a 1024 by 512 pixel specular map, which took a lot of trial and error because, well, again, I didn't really know what I was doing. I wanted the pearls to be a bit more shiny than the fabric, which is why I chose green for the pearls and red for the dress. And in the mask, I made the pearls lighter than the fabric as well, because the lighter the map, the shinier the object. And I didn't want the dress to be too shiny, just a little bit shiny. And I haven't created a shadow map because I really don't understand the shadow map yet. That will be for future projects. If you know any good tutorials, please don't hesitate to send me a link because at the moment I absolutely know nothing. You know nothing, Jon Snow. Anyway, moving on. It does take a lot of trial and error to learn this, and I often do spend hours working on something in vain, but I thought I'd share with you one of the biggest fails in this project. I don't even have words for this one. But anyway, on to KikiSim. I'll be back at the end with a little surprise, so see you later. Hi guys, welcome to my little studio. Because Beauty and the Beast is a musical, I've decided to sing you a song for the showcase because I can. So without further ado, let's go to the showcase. Tale as old as time, true as it can be, barely even friends, then somebody bends unexpectedly. Just a little change, small to say the least, both a little scared. ever just the same, ever as surprised, ever as before, ever just as sure as the sun will rise. Tale as old as time, tune as old as song, bitter, sweet and strange, finding you can change, learning you were wrong. Certain as the sun, rising in the east, tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme, Beauty and the Beast. Tale as old as time, song as old as rhyme.